Nnamdikanu's lawyers frown on secret police. Department of State Services DSS for granting visitation access to Senator Orji Kalu. Welcome to the news, and thank you for tuning in to listen. The lambasted the DSS for throwing caution to the wind and allowing a 7th Senator Orji Kalu access even before the time scheduled for formal visit. Now the news in detail. Ifeanyi for the lawyer to Nnamdikanu, the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, has frowned at the Department of State Services for granting access to a visitor to see Kanu in custody without the strict adherence to court guidelines. Ejiofor, in an update he gave on Kanu on Monday, which was obtained by Sahara reporters, lambasted the DSS for throwing caution to the wind and allowing a 7th Senator, Orji Kalu, access even before the time scheduled for the formal visit and without his lawyers being present during the visit. The lawyer said, "Our yesterday's routine visit to our client, Onyendo Nnamdikanu, was hugely insightful. Following the successful twist in our introduced methodology, though it might appear complex before some observers, it was very extant in the circumstance of this case. Meaningful intervention were reviewed and legal steps we are exploring to continue to checkmate the aggressors within the ambit of legal inhibitions were thoroughly freed. Kudos were given to the deserving members of our legal team who have remained astounding in the discharge of their professional duties, as well as every one of us who have remained relentless and resolute. Our client continues to admonish for peaceful coexistence of Chineke, unflinching support, and unshaken loyalty. We can at best describe what transpired yesterday between a visitor whom the detaining authority ostensibly aided to violate the court-ordered guideline for visiting our client as bizarre and unusual. The Department of State Services DSS is not oblivious of attempts of a court guideline, which they have consistently maintained in the past that it must be obeyed to the letter, and through which position they had denied many friends and attorneys of our client access to him. However, caution was thrown to the wind yesterday, and instead of insisting on this full compliance with the existing guideline, the Department of State Services DSS, for reasons best known to them, allowed the visitor access to a client even before the time scheduled for the formal visit and without his lawyers being present during the visit. It is of serious concern that the visit was conducted without strict adherence to the court-ordered guideline, but mere condescending that the visit later became a subject of political gimmicks. If we are our client's attorneys, his flesh and blood brothers, and his wife will visit him in due compliance with a court-ordered guideline, how can the DSS authorize a visit from any other person in gross violation of this guideline? There is more to it than it meets the eye, which the DSS is now under a compelling duty to explain to us. Granted that his name appeared among the list submitted at the 11th hour alongside the names of the lawyers scheduled for the visit, but hurriedly proceeding to conduct the visit without us being present in line with the requirements of the guideline left us with many unanswered questions. We have initiated a formal process towards ensuring the thorough investigation of what transpired yesterday, and we shall not hesitate to formally address the world on this subject if there is any attempt to sweep our petition under the carpet. The order of the court and terms has laid down guidelines to regulate visit to a client to ensure its maximum protection from persons who may wish to secretly seize the opportunity to hurt or intimidate him into accepting a false narrative outside the dungeon where he is being illegally detained, and they could achieve this through threats or coercion. Hence, the need for the presence of his lawyers before granting any audience. We may not wish to speak further on this subject or even discuss our client's position on this visit, pending the outcome of the investigation on the Department of State Services DSS authorized violation of a court-ordered guideline. Inasmuch as we have unequivocally demanded for an immediate investigation, we are not by any means insinuating that visitors of our client's choice are not permitted or restrained from visiting him henceforth. But our position is that every visit to our clients must conform with the already set out guideline by the court. We shall keep you all updated as we navigate through this turbulent path, but just know that victory and nothing less than victory is our goal, and it shall surely end in victory, Ụmụ Chineke. Sahara reporters on Monday reported that Kalu, the chief whip of the Senate and former governor of Abia State, said he visited Kanu in the DSS custody. Kalu has revealed that his meeting with the pro-Biafra separatist leader was based on his encouragement that he should consider certain consequences of his action for the sake of Igbo people. This afternoon, I visited my brother, Nnamdikanu, in DSS custody, Abuja. I met him in good health and care and will discuss as Umunni. In 2001, when I was governor, I made his father, Eze Israel Opukano, the traditional ruler of Akwara Ukwu, and since then, the family has been very close to me. I understand that Nnamdi has an insane amount of people rooting for him back home, and I encourage him to consider the consequences of certain actions and utterances for the sake of the same people. Even though my ideology and his ideology are totally different, God has made us brothers, and we cannot run away from each other. I owe him and Nigerians good counseling, Kalu has said. Well, indeed there is more to it than what meets the eyes. Indeed there is. Just the single act from the DSS alone, they have a lot and lots of questions to answer. Because the court has already given an order and said, okay, this particular issue, this is how it's supposed to be followed. And of course, every other person that has come and even pleaded, you refuse. Then, all of a sudden, somebody comes and the person, is just waived. You just waive that so-called court's order, or how the courts have said it should, the people visiting should go through. Then that means there's something. There is an information that we are not seeing, or there is more to it than what meets the eyes. Unfortunately, we live in a time where there's no communication between the people and the government. The government do things the way they please, and the citizens, are just meant to take it, unfortunately. On this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time.